Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Gift and you're welcome to Gift and Couture. So in today's story, I'll be sharing with you how I made this beautiful kaftan or bubu. Alright, so if this is your first time of coming across my channel, please do well to subscribe, like, share, comment, support me by doing so. So you'll be needing like 3.5 yards to sew this fabric because this is what I use. So depending on the length that you want, if you're sewing for a customer that is tall, so it depends, just take the measurement. All right, so and I also use 3.5 yards for the buyer's velvet. So let's get into the business. Now the first thing you're going to do, you're going to fold your fabric into 4, and I'm still going to use paper to show you. All right, so let's say your dress length is 60. You're going to measure your fabric 60 times 2, that's 120 inches. All right, and then fold it into 2. So when you fold it into 2, you have that 60, then you had your seam allowance, your hemming allowance. All right, that will be another one, and then from there, when you fold it into 2, you're going to measure from the midpoint of your shoulder to where you want it to stop. For this tutorial, I actually use from the midpoint, all right, like the backbone of my shoulder to where I want it. So it's actually 22 that I use. So from there, so next thing is to go ahead and measure the neckline. For this neckline, I use 3.5 as the neck width, and I use 2 inches to get the neck depth. And I'll be cutting both front and the back together. Don't worry, I'm still going to show you how I did it. So I'll go ahead and cut this one and then open it to get the V line. So on that same pattern, I'm just going to draw the neck of the front, which is like V. Okay, it's actually V. All right, I'll just mark it, and the length of what I use there is 8 inches. So go ahead and mark the same thing. Remember, you are not cutting them together, and remember what you have here is both front and the back. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and connect the neck just like this, and then so the next thing is to go ahead and notch the side. Okay, I'm not going to cut it out like this. I'm just going to open it. I'll go ahead and notch the center. I'll notch the shoulder and also open it just like this. Please make sure the moment you fold it, make sure you iron it. Okay, make sure you iron the sides, the shoulder. You know, you are not cutting it out. Okay, so make sure you just iron it just like the way I'm doing it. You're ironing it to get the center. You're ironing both front and the back, but look at what I did there. You're going to notch the center. Let's say that's the middle point after you're folding your fabric into 4. Okay, so you're just going to go ahead and measure where you want your kaftan to stop. Okay, the length of your kaftan. Okay, let's say you are trimming it off like that. Okay, now you're going to go ahead and fold your fabric into 2 like this. If you don't fold it like that, you can decide to fold it into 4. You can see just like this, you're folding it into 4. So for the neckline, let's assume you are using 4 inches. So I'm going to use 4 inches to get the neck width. Okay, and the neck depth, I'm going to use, let's say, 4 inches as well, or not 4 inches because the neck is V. So I'll just go ahead and cut that 4 inches out. Okay, let's just assume. Okay, so from there, you know what I just did, I've cut both the front and the back. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead, open it just like this. So this method, you're going to fold your fabric into 2 and then make sure you iron the center, and that's what I did. Okay, and then from there, I'll go ahead and measure the length of the neck, that's the V. What may, let's say from 6 to 7, you can measure that 7 inches and then connect it from that point to the other end. Okay, and then go ahead and cut it. So that's exactly what I did. You can see the back is still round while the front, it has V line. So when you open it, you're going to have something like this. I hope this is making sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. So after that, in case you decide to make it open in the front, you can decide from your hemming line to your knee length, depending on how you want it. You can open the slits like this. You can either slit it out and use your bias tape to tape it, or you slit it out and join it. In case you're sewing for a customer, or a customer wants it, I want it to be a little bit longer or shorter, that's the slit, that's what I'm talking about. So on that line, you are going to put your bias velvet just like this. You're going to put it around, and I'm still going to show you how to do it, but this is basically what I'm going to be doing for this. And for the back, you don't have to put it, okay, because it wasn't easy sewing the back, so I decided to lose it out, of which I'm still going to show you. So this is what you are going to get. All right, So to get your body measurement, you're going to place your tape rule from that shoulder line. You're going to measure your bust point, label it the bust point, your waistline, your hip line, and the next one is the hemming line, which is your actual length, your gown length. Okay, so that's the hip line. So that's basically it. You're going to measure on both sides of the paper. Let's assume that's your fabric. So when you measure your bust point, you're going to divide your bust into four. Note, you are not using your exact measurement because this tutorial you don't need zipper. Okay, you're going to add 4 inches to every of your measurements. All right, for example, if your bust is 40, you're going to add 4 into it and divide it into 4, which is, instead of 10, you're going to measure 11. Okay, and then mark it. The same thing applicable to your waist and your hip, and then same thing to your dress length, because it's not a fitted dress. And when you are done, you can go ahead and shape it like this. So from that, your shoulder, you're going to measure your armhole. Let's say 10 inches. From your shoulder, you mark 10 inches, and then from that 10 inches, that's where you're going to sew. So you can either shape it like this on this side, or you join it together like the first one I did. Okay, or you share the measurement like this. Kindly note that you're going to measure the measurement is from the center. Okay, just from that center of your fabric, take it from your waist, measure your waist, your bust point, and then your hip length. So in case you want to sew a full length and you want the slit to be by the side, you're going to stop at your knee. All right, you're going to stop at your knee. That's where you're going to stop sewing. Okay, so just like that, we are done. The same measurement you have on this side is what you're going to have measure on the other side. Okay, so when you are done, just go ahead and connect it, and then go ahead and sew it. So just like this, we are done, and that's what I'm going to be doing on the fabric. All right, so let's go. So you're going to go ahead and cut out the V-neck that we are using for the front, and when you are done cutting, you're going to cut facing. Okay, so let me show you how I cut the facing. So you're going to fold your fabric into two like this. Okay, just arrange it properly. Make sure you iron it to get the center, and then go ahead and place another fabric underneath the same fabric. Okay, then go ahead and shape it. For me, I use 3 inches as the length. I use 3.5 rather. So from there, you're going to measure. So for the back, you can use 3.5, but when it comes to the front, you have to make the front a bit longer so that the facing will not be flipping out. Okay, so I've gone ahead to iron the facing. Go ahead and do the same thing, and I'm just going to go ahead and place the facing on the fabric. Okay, so go ahead and pin it round. If you can sew it round without pinning it. Okay, so let's go. So when you are done sewing the facing, you are going to go ahead and top stitch it. All right, go ahead and top stitch it, and then go ahead and iron it just like this. And when you are done, you are going to make sure you notch the necessary join, like the shoulder, the side, the center. And next thing is to go ahead and sew this bias velvet. You can see the way I'm placing this bias velvet. The initial plan was to sew it to the back, like round the back neck, but after I finished doing that, in the process I discovered it wasn't easy. You know, since the what's it called, the bias velvet is not stretchy, I wasn't able to do it. So do not take it round, just stop at the shoulder length. Do not follow this method. Okay, stop at the shoulder length of the front, and then since we are going to be using facing, so it will cover up, and people might not even notice you didn't take it round the neck at the back. Okay, so let's go ahead and sew it. So I've gone ahead to do it, and this is the outcome. Now this is what I mean. You can see, honestly, it was squeezing at the back. It was squeezing, so there's no need. So just focus on the front alone. You can see how the front is, and then let's go ahead and continue. So when you are done, make sure you place another fabric on the dress. Okay, to iron the bias velvet. Okay, so now next thing is to go ahead and follow the measurement the way I showed you on the paper. All right, so from the shoulder I went ahead to mark 10.5 downward. Remember, from the shoulder downward you are marking 10.5 or 10 inches, and then from there go ahead and mark the bust points, the half length and the hip length. So on that bust point, you are going to divide your bust measurement into 4. Remember, you are going to add either 4 inches or 5 inches to the measurement, but 4 is okay. So you are going to add 4 inches to all your measurement, like for your waist, your bust, and your hip measurement. Let's assume your bust is 30. You are going to add 4 inches to it, making 34, and then divide it by 4. So you're going to mark those measurements there. And please note that you have to stop where you want the slit to stop. For example, if you want the slit to stop at your on your knee, you are going to measure from your shoulder down to your knee. So wherever it stops, that's wherever it is, like whatever measurement it is, that's where you're going to mark and then sew it. So when you're done, go ahead and iron the hemline just like the way you're seeing on the screen, and then iron the sides. Also iron the velvet properly. And thank you for watching.